Hi everyone, welcome to Eating Secret. I've got a treat for you today. At least I hope it's going to be a treat. And a treat for me because it's something I've never made before. So this is the first time doing it, and I hope you're going to enjoy watching me make a rainbow soap cake. So what you will need for this is one of these. I think it's like a plastering tool or a scraping or a stripping tool, but it needs to be long like that, so that when you put your two soaps together you can scrape around. You're also going to need a spinning turntable, which I'll show you later. This was £7 from B&Q. And the turntable was £2.99 from Home Bargains. So what we're going to do first is we are going to line this mould just with some ordinary greaseproof paper. If you've got anything better, then use something better. I was looking for some plain flat silicone, but I couldn't find any.
Is this going to be soap or real?
This is soap. Yeah. Oh, you thought rainbow cake. So just draw your two circles on here with a pencil, and then we'll cut them out. And try and cut just inside the pencil line. I'll tell you why, because the pencil does actually come off onto the soap. When I'm making my meringue soaps, I think I've discontinued those, the rose nests, I would draw circles and pipe inside the circle, and if I went over, then the pencil would be stuck to the back of the soap. Not that it hurts it, but because you can literally just scrape it off dead easy. So that's one, which is going to fit in there perfectly. And then the other one, and I think these are 8-inch tins. They might not be that big actually. I need my tape measure, don't I? Let's find my tape measure. I'm always looking for my tape measure. If you always put it back in the same place, then you know exactly where it's going to be. So it's 7.5 actually, so a bit neater than an 8-inch tin. It doesn't have to be perfect. I do have silicone liners, but they all have impression patterns on them. And again, you know, you could definitely do that if you didn't want to put frosting on. But we're going to put frosting on ours today. And then we just need some strips to go around the insides of both of them. Well, I don't know how much it's going to take, so I guess I could use this just to draw a line. Just cut along that line there, and then you can just literally do this by eye. Just make sure it's deep enough go on the inside like this. You can see it's actually far too deep. So I'm just going to cut that down. And then use this to make another 3, because this won't go all the way around the circumference. Actually, the best way to do this, isn't it, Karen, isn't it, is to do this. You can see what I'm doing, yeah. Let's just fold it. And then fold it again. And then we get our creases in exactly the right place. And then again. And we could get a knife this time. Sure, any knife will do, so I'm just using my bread knife. And then we've got one more crease. To put down. And so they are going to go inside of here like so, but I am going to stick them to the outside, so I'll just use a little bit of oil to stick them on. So that's the first step in making this rainbow cake. Okay, so here we are, ready to go. We've got all our colours set up along the back here. So we've got red, yellow, pink, green, purple, orange and blue. So what we're going to be making? A rainbow cake. There's our tins ready to go. And our jugs ready to mix. I don't know how close in you want all this, so I'll work from there for now and keep checking, see how it goes. So I've got 3 tins lined, ready to go. I'm not sure I'll need all of them, but well, you know, they're already lined. We did that in the last video. So today I'm going to use vanilla cream fragrance oil from Just a Soap. It's a fantastic non-discolouring vanilla, but it does move pretty fast, so there's no messing about with that. Each layer of colour is going to be 600 mils. I'll work that out in ounces if you're watching overseas and you prefer it in pounds and ounces, and I'll write that in the description box below. I've got my measuring glass, and we're going to work at an ounce per kilo. So we're ready to go with the first colour, which is red. I'm not happy with this jug, I can't really see the numbers on it properly. So let's find one that's a bit better. When you've had them for a long time, they do wear off. So 600 mils. I'm going to mix the colour in first and then mix in the fragrance, because as I said, it does move pretty fast. So the bottom is red. So we're going to put 20. I'm going to be brave and put 20. Oh, no, it seems a bit much. Yeah, I'm going to stick with 20 mils of fragrance. I might be able to push it to 25. We'll see. We'll see after this mix. I'm going to have to wash my blender after every pour as well, I think. I'll go into this one because this is the one you can see. And because it does set pretty fast, you'll need to just give it a little tap down. But by the time I've washed this and mixed up my next colour, I'll be able to pour it straight on the top of there. So let's do that. You can just give it a rinse, it doesn't have to be perfect. Next colour is yellow. I don't know whether to put any titanium dioxide in. I don't think I'm going to bother. And we will be able to mix. And I can see that set already. Don't stick your finger in because you'll make a lift or a dip in it. I'm going to put 25 mils of fragrance in this time. So that's just under an ounce. An ounce is 28 mils. When you've got a lighter colour on your mixer, your blender, it doesn't matter, you don't need to wash it for the next colour. It's just when you're doing your dark colours. So there we go. We'll just pour the yellow straight on top of there. I was going to do a layer of frosting in between each one, but I had a test, I tried it and I didn't like what it looked like. And that was going to be the video, but it created far too many steps. So many steps that I'm sure the videos won't upload. I mean, each video was like 20 minutes long, and you can imagine how many different colours plus the frosting layers as well made a different video for each one. So I want to try and make not as many videos because it's easier to upload. So we'll put another 600 in here. And this time we're going for pink. I'll put a link to all the colours underneath. Now I'm going to mix this one in because this is a bit powdery and it needs blend a lot longer. It's so vibrant. the same amount of fragrance. I know I put 20 mils in one and 25 in another. It's not going to make that much difference. But make sure you do get your fragrance levels around about the same. And the reason being, if you don't, one layer will be soft, one layer will be hard, one could be crunchy. It's just weird the way it works. I'm hoping this doesn't flood over the top. If I'm lucky, it'll be just right. And it is. So what we need to do, I'm wondering if I just keep going, because what I will be doing is I'll be putting this layer on. Oh no, 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 no. There you go, an accident. So that's going to need redoing. Luckily I've got this other one ready to go. And this soap round here, it's not going to hurt. It'll be absolutely fine. We'll be able to scrape it off. Just going to give it a tap. And just wipe that off around there. It might make it stick to the tin. It might not unmold as well because some of it will have slipped down the side, but I'm sure these tins are going to unmold pretty well. I know it's not advisable to make soap in tins, but I have used aluminium tins a long time ago. Yeah, they were a nightmare. Right, so we'll just move that over here and I'll start with this one. So we've got 3 colours in there: red, yellow, pink, green, purple and orange, and then there'll only be the blue left, but I could add another couple of colours in there. We'll see as I go along. So this needs thinking about because the green needs to be next to the pink. It doesn't have to be, but the green I want next to the pink so that everything's in order. So the last colour I'll do here is the green. So purple, orange, purple and green. So that'll give us red, yellow, pink, green, purple, orange and then the blue on top. So we're doing it the next 3 in the opposite direction if you want to do it the way the colours of the rainbow are. Luckily I've got lots of jars and spoons, jugs and spoons, but I'm going to start needing to wash them now. And that's the green going in. I'll just scrape it out. I wish I could film from the other side and then you'd see how I'm scraping it all out. So purple will be in the middle. nice big teaspoonful of the purple. Gosh, it's warm in here today. I just wanted to tell you about my ear. It is getting better. It's not there yet, but it's definitely improving. Ended up getting a little bit of green in there, so I'm mixing that in well. And when this is, if you're going to do layers with cold process, this is, you do it with fast moving colours, and that's how you get your nice straight lines. Right, so we'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to wash all these pots up, and then we'll and line that with a tray, and then we'll get ready to keep pouring the colours and joining them together. Okay, so what we need to do, because it's spilt over, it probably ran down the sides. We've got the paper here on the outside, and then obviously the tin. So what ran down in between, we just need to scrape it out, because it'll make it difficult to unmold if we leave it there. And you see how hard that soap is already? And this is where the beauty of using a fast moving fragrance. I know a lot of people hate them, but they do have their uses. I mean, if you were going to do this with a slow fragrance, it would take forever. And you'd have to mix all your batch up in separate quantities. Unless, of course, you could find a cake mould that was this high with straight sides. Sorry, you can't see my hand. Well, that's because it's way up above the camera. So I'll just move you back out. I'm just going to check again these, because they have the loose bottom. It should just make this fairly simple to push out, and it's doing exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm going to do the next layer here, and I thought I'd put an extra layer in, because what is an Eden Secret product without gold? We've got to have a gold layer, even though there's not any gold. Well, there might be gold in the rainbow, but it's not in the song, is it? So let's mix up some gold. Teaspoon always works about right. And this soap is what I would call a showcase. Now, I would love to do a showcase once a month as a video. It does, when you're really busy, it gets difficult to do exactly what you want to do. So what I know I will do is I'll do a showcase and a giveaway every 10,000 subscribers, or maybe do a giveaway every 5,000 and do a showcase. I mean, every 5,000's loads, isn't it? but it'll take me a long time to get 5,000 subscribers. It could be every 6 months maybe. Did I put the fragrance in there? I hope I did. So yeah, I want to plan something like that, so there's something to look forward to every time I hit a certain amount of subscribers. So the next step after this is going to be a little bit complicated, so stick around for that. And that's it. It hasn't overflowed over the paper. It's absolutely perfect. So those quantities are spot on for this cake tin. And the other thing I'm noticing is it's not having a reaction at all with the cake tin, so it can't be aluminium. And whatever sprayed on it, it's working very, very well. Obviously it's lined, but it's not taking any harm whatsoever. So I'm just going to wait until that gets firm but still a bit tacky on the top. And this one isn't tacky at all. I don't know whether to give that just a little scrape, because I made a little bit of a mess of it, didn't I? Where's my knife? Maybe not the best thing to do, but it doesn't hurt it really. I'm just getting another knife here to see where we are with this gold layer. As I said, I want it to be firm, but just tacky. It's not quite ready yet. And don't worry, those peaks are okay, because when I turn this pink one out onto the gold, it'll flatten it down. But it's got to be firm enough that this pink won't fall into the gold. It does actually feel quite firm, but I'm going to leave it just a little bit longer. While I'm doing that, we'll take the pink out of there. It's slippy. So just keep your tin to one side, because I'm going to put the tin back on when I've done what I'm going to do. I think it's ready now. Right, let's have a go. So I've just flipped it over, and I want to try and make sure it gets right in the middle. So we'll turn it all the way around and make sure there's no lip sticking out anywhere. And then I'm just going to press down. It's quite warm at the moment, so you might want to put some rubber gloves on. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that back on there. Actually, I'll give you a look from the side. No, you can see it, can't you? And then just put this lid back on there. And then again, we're going to wait to pour the next 2 layers into the other tin, because we're going to do exactly the same again. We'll flip this over bottom to top, and we'll take this tin off, and then we will lay it onto the orange, because blue will be the last colour, and then we'll have an orange layer. It's not going to fill the cake, it's just going to be 2 layers in this last mould. So I don't know whether to start doing it yet or just wait a bit. I think I'll wait a bit. We've still got plenty movement in the batter that we've got in the pot. The soap we haven't used yet. If that starts thickening up, then I'm going to have to move. But we're okay up to now. Still nice and fluid. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix up the orange and the blue. But I'll do the blue first, because I want the blue right at the top or on the bottom. Whether it's blue or red, I don't know. So you can see the soap powder is thickening up. I don't know if I'm going to have 600 left. Let's have a look. We might be perfectly lucky. Spot on to do those 2 colours. This one looks like it's over just a tiny bit, and the other one is just under, so okay, so let's mix up the blue. Put some fragrance in there. Did you just want to add some? Huh?
Crush this morning on 66. It's longer.
Another one.
2 worries. So not clear.
No.
Kempley Bank.
Oh, that's where the roundabout is at Penrith.
It says the roundabout. It's close between Kempley Bank and the roundabout, Penrith. Is that Jackman's
What?
roundabout?
No, it's Jackie's is the junction 40 on the M6, and Kempley Park is, you know, Dearmont Bridge when you just get to the top of the hill. That's that one.
Still not clear after all this time.
And now for the orange. Now what I'm thinking is going to need to happen is the other soaps I made are going to need to literally slot in to this tin rather than sit on the top. So hopefully we won't struggle too much with that. Just put our orange in there. So I just picked vanilla because I think vanilla is usually the flavour of these cakes, and then when I put the frosting on the outside I'm going to go for black raspberry and vanilla. I think I should have washed that blender there, shouldn't I? There might be some lumps of blue in here. So again, this layer is going to need to go sticky. So we'll wait until it's ready and then we'll unmold these, and I'm hoping I can get it inside, put this soap inside of the paper lining around the outside. Gosh, I'm all fingers and thumbs today. I nearly dropped my blender. Okay, so I'm just putting my rubber gloves on for this part, just because the soap in the tin is rather warm in these two. So I'm gonna just flip this over and I'm going to take that off there. And we need to peel off the paper on this layer. Like that. And now we're going to try and fit the green into there and press it down on the orange. Is it going to work? Yes, I don't know if it's got any paper stuck in, but I'm sure if it has, we'll just be able to pull it out with some tweezers once this is sat overnight. So we're just going to leave all the greaseproof paper on and these tins on, and then it can sit and do its thing overnight, do its soapy reaction overnight. If you hear, actually no, I'm thinking about people who watch us right until the end of the video, but we're not near the end yet because we still need to frost this. So we will frost it tomorrow, and leaving the skin on it will keep the outside moist so that you can frost some more soap onto it. So for you that'll be in a couple of seconds. For me it's 24 hours. So I'll see you in 24 hours. to finish off what we're going to decorate it with. Okay, so here we are, ready to unmold, and we're just going to lift that off. It lifted off beautifully. You can see it hasn't reacted at all with this tin, so it's just a bit of oil on there, so it worked absolutely perfectly, the tin. I mean, it might not always, but for now it's definitely worked well. There you go. Again, that's just a bit of oil on there. It's just greasy. And that's because I put some oil on to stick the parchment paper onto. So we're just going to zoom in a bit closer for you. Peel off the parchment paper. And so there's no skin, no hard skin on the outside of here, which will make it a lot better for the frosting to adhere to it. But I am going to spray it with a bit of rubbing alcohol, just in case there are any dry bits at all. And I'll show you me doing that process. So I'm just going to neaten that up around the edge. So much neater than a real cake, eh? Up to now. So let's just turn that over. And lift the other side off. So yeah, you don't want to be doing this with an aluminium mould. I used aluminium years ago, bought some expensive, yeah, they were really expensive pans, and I ruined them straight away because they don't work with cold process. So this is where the paper slipped inside, and it's literally just pulling out, no problem, she says. That's it, it's all out. And you might be able to see it is rippled slightly off the paper, but that doesn't matter because we're going to frost on top of it. There you go. So any loose bits, just scrape those off, and then again neaten it off around the top. Now I was going to put frosting in between each colour, but I did have a practice before I did this one, and I didn't like it. I thought it would look much better if all the colours were together, and it's hard to get a very, very thin layer of frosting in between each one when you're using this hard fragrance, fast moving fragrance. So this is my cheap spinner. It doesn't spin that well, but it's going to do what I need it to do. So let's give this a spray with rubbing alcohol. Doesn't need to be a lot. All we want to do is just moisten the outside. Don't use water for that. I've used water in the past and it turned the soap rancid eventually after it had sat on the shelf for so long. And it's looking pretty good so far. Much, much better than the other one. I wish I had it to show you, but someone's bought it already. Right. So we've got a small palette knife. I've got my soap here. I've got about 1200 grams, 1.2 kilos. I'm going to put some titanium dioxide in there. I don't want too much. I don't want it to be white. I mean, it might look better white. No, it wouldn't be white, would it? If it was a real cake. So I'm also going to use black raspberry and vanilla as the fragrance, to fragrance the outside, because I can't use the vanilla because it moves that fast that I'll never get it all on to the cake. So I'm putting probably about 40 mils in there. I feel tempted to put some more in, but I'm not going to. Do you know what? I'm going to put a bit more in, because I'm a bit frightened that it could end up hard, the frosting. I'd rather it was on the softer side than on the harder side. So I'm putting another 15 mils in. So that's like 55 mils, which is 2 ounces. So all we need to do, I'd love to show you this in real time, but because I've got so many different steps of video to join together, it's not working too well for me now. I'm sure I've mentioned that YouTube was fantastic when they had video editor. It was so quick. But now I've got to upload the video. I've got to make the video in steps. Then I've got to upload it. Then I've got to move it onto the desktop. Then I've got to put it onto iMovie and join them all together, and then trying to upload from iMovie to YouTube when your video is 45 minutes long with lots of different steps. So more often than not, it just doesn't work. And I have got fibre optic broadband, so I can't understand what's going on. Where with YouTube it was literally like 20 minutes, half an hour, that's all it took. And it can take like I don't mean half a day as in 12 hours, but it can take 6 hours just to upload a long video. So as you can see, it's quite runny at the moment. And frosting, all you need to do is just let this thicken up, come back and give it a stir every couple of minutes. As long as you're using a slow moving fragrance, just stir every couple of minutes will be sufficient. Okay, so we'll be going to frost once that batter is thick enough. Okay, so we're ready to go. Probably took 15 minutes for this to thicken up. Don't let it get too stiff because it will not stick to your cake. The harder it is, the thicker it is, the faster it moves, the harder it is to get it to stick on. So let's start with the top. I'm just going to use my spoon for now. down like that, pressing it, and then it'll help it to stick. And then we'll put some on the sides. Now we're going to try and smooth it off. I don't know how it's going to work with that tool we got from B&Q the other day. I mean, you could always just do this technique. And it's perfect amount. To frost the outside, so that was 1.2 kilos. I'm just going to tap it all the way around like this, just pressing it on. And then I'm going to lift the camera down so you can see what I'm doing from the side angle. I don't know whether to smooth the top out first. So we'll come back to that, because what I want to do on the bottom, can you see the bottom? No. Just need something to put that on. Yeah. And now this technique looks pretty nice, but just because I bought that tool, I'm going to have a go with it anyway and see how it works. I'll need to move the camera further back. Okay, so let's try with this. You know, it's how perfect you want these things to be. It's actually working very, very well. I'm just going to tip it a bit more of an angle. See, there's a bit of a gap there. Yeah, it's working nicely. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, but I see it hasn't reached up here. So we need some more frosting up here. And then I'm going to need to go around again. Has it missed anywhere else like that? I feel like I don't want to mess with it because I might spoil it. We need a bit more here. See, I'm not going to do any more, I'm just going to leave it like that. And then we'll scrape off what's on here and put it on the top. Now I don't know whether to decorate it because it's going to make the video even longer. I want to decorate it, but so I'll just put you back on there because I need to do this. And then I'm going to have a go like this. I'm just going to get this now and go around again. I really want to pipe onto it, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like if I'm going to do it I should go full hog, but terrified I'm going to have done all this work and not get the video up. Right, I'll just show you what it looks like up to now. It's looking pretty good. No crumb coat. Don't need a crumb coat when it's a soap cake. And then I guess decorating it's going to cover those little gaps, but I don't think they matter. I mean, it just makes it look nice anyway. But it needs something. It needs something. So I need to think what I'm going to do, and then we'll do it. Okay, let's get this sucker cut. Can anybody see my scalpel? I literally brought it over here a second ago. Ah, I've got it. So all I'm going to do is around the bottom here with a scalpel is just go around and cut these bits off that have dribbled. And then get this knife, just slip it under there and go around and loosen it all the way. And then once it's loose, we're just going to lift it off like that. So a small knife isn't going to do. The saw cutter won't do because it's not deep enough, the wire, to cut through this. So luckily, the knife I used to use for my melt and pour, this one, that's the one I'm going to use. And you can get these off eBay. I've forgotten what they're called. Probably a two-handed knife. So let's cut through her. I'm just going to measure across the middle to get exactly the right. It's exactly 8 inches. Yeah. So if I just put a dot in the middle, then I can cut straight through. It doesn't matter where that blade is, as long as it touches that middle dot, then we're going to get almost a perfect half. So you've just got to try and cut straight down. Whether to just open that in two now or cut it again. I think I'll just open it. Ooh, what's it going to be like? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mama? Mama? Is that good? That's my useless American accent. Actually, while you're watching, I just want to say hello to all the countries. A lot of well, a few have started writing comments in the comments below. So just want to say hello to you wherever you are, whether you're in Great Britain, Europe, Russia, China, Japan, Australia, America, Canada, and everywhere in between, even like the Maldives and places like that. Hello to you. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm hoping I can get it uploaded, but if you're seeing it, then I managed to get it done. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching this showcase, and we'll have another one for you. I haven't decided how often I'm going to do them, but I'm going to do them. So, bye for now.